do you have any fashion faux pas that you just lean into, that you're like, don't care? It's a fashion faux pas.
Male pattern baldness. Just lean in, you know?
At least you have hair on your face. Thank God.
At least, as if it would be so bad to not.
No, I like your hair. That you
I don't have.
That you don't have. No, mine is the Devil Wears Prada 2 movie just came out.
Yes.
And so Emily Blunt and all these things and all these people talking about fashion is all over my Instagram. I literally feel like I've already watched the movie. I'm like, I don't need to see this movie. I've already seen it.
Right.
And they talk about, in one of the reels that they are being interviewed, one of the interviews that they're being interviewed. Is that how you say that? They talk about the biggest fashion faux pas.
Okay.
And I am.
What's your fashion faux pas?
I am one of them.
What is it? Oh, yes. Crocs.
How you lovingly call this, if you're watching, a thing of cheese, a thing of cheddar cheese.
A block of cheddar.
A block of cheddar.
Jesse wears these
massive Crocs.
Platform Crocs that are the color of a brick of cheddar cheese.
Color of the brick of the cheddar cheese. Right there. And I just lean in. And then Anne Hathaway said the other one is loungewear. Like, as in like loungewear to like things. I was like, oh my God, I am. That is who I am. I am a faux pas.
You are loungewear with cheddar cheese Crocs.
Or like, what'd you say? Athletic wear. I was like, that's all I am. I am Crocs on the feet, athletic wear on the body. I am all a fashion profile. Faux pas, not profile.
I feel like that's the most like fashion privileged thing to say ever though. Like, oh, it's just, you shouldn't wear.
I know.
You shouldn't wear athletic wear. It's like, well, yeah, it would be awesome if I had like the most expensive clothes ever.
The crochet top that you're currently wearing from Chanel for $2,000.
Although
but they do get a lot for free. Anyway, today on the podcast, we're going to talk about something that I feel like is universally felt by everyone that struggles with infertility. I don't know why I'm doing this, but it's important that you get what I'm saying.
Universally felt.
Like there's some things where it's like, some people don't really struggle with a lot of guilt or feelings, or they don't struggle with feeling like they're a failure, but some really, really, really do. But I feel like this feeling unseen is a universal feeling that everybody feels when you're struggling with infertility.
Yeah.
I just said that. We try not to say always statements, but it is kind of an always statement. I think that most people feel unseen when they're struggling with infertility.
Yeah. I don't know if I've met anyone who feels
massively seen.
Visible. You mean like, like maybe people know about it, but they're like, oh, I don't feel seen by people. Like I feel like people miss what I'm going through.
Or seen enough.
And they miss the breadth of it, if that makes sense. Like they miss the emotional, the how much it's impacting their life. They don't feel seen in that way.
Right.
Which is like it is kind of a universal. I feel like most people feel completely unseen. And I also think that it is one of the sneaky hardest things about infertility is how unseen you feel. That unseenness, I think, leads to all sorts of things like isolation, anxiety, stress, anger towards like the people in your life, anger towards like the systems in your life.
Yes.
You know, like someone gets a break at work for something, but then you're going through fertility treatments and they're like, well, no, you can't take any time out. Like stuff like that. Like you just don't feel seen. Like this, I don't feel like this is taken in as important. It's not real.
Right.
People just look past it. That's what we're talking about.
And a little bit, I think too, it is embarrassing for some people. So it's almost this like tug of war of like, I want to be seen because I'm in pain and I don't want to fake it around my people. But I also am like, I almost like this is kind of embarrassing to admit, and almost I don't want to be in the limelight for it. Like it's just like I feel like it's like this tug of war even within yourself. You know what I mean? But I think the main thing that you feel is, especially if you've been in this journey for some months, some years, it's like I just now want to be seen. Like I'm going through so much pain. Like I am depressed. Somebody said in our groups one time, they said, I love your process groups because I can take my mask off. And I was like, that is really powerful. Like, that is really powerful. Like, I think that a lot of times in infertility, we wear this mask and we are inside depressed, isolated, anxious, you know, And we're desperate to have someone see us in that or understand what we're going through.
We're going to get into all of that, but I want to start with a certain spot, which is, what does it feel like to be unseen? For you, what does it feel like to be unseen in your infertility? What are people not seeing, and what does it feel when they don't see that?
You feel invisible even if you're around people. You feel like you have to be fake. I'm so excited that you just gave birth on my birthday and Mother's Day at the same time. You feel alone, a deep sense of alone, a deep sense of feeling like you are on an island and no one's there and nobody gets it, but you're on this island with people. So you're on this island with people, but nobody understands. And it's just painful. It's painful. It's painful to feel unseen. It feels at the same time you want to scream of how you're feeling, but you're also so exhausted from feeling this way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're so exhausted from experiencing an infertility journey, but you almost want to scream of like, I'm alone and feeling alone. And how could you not get this? Feels so obvious. I feel like it was so obvious of for the other person actually to like know what to say, like I'm struggling or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just leaves you feeling alone. It really just makes you feel alone.
Did you get angry? Did you get sad? Was it anxiety provoking?
I think it was anxiety provoking socially. Socially, it was anxiety provoking.
Yeah.
To go to a party with kids or go to a birthday party or...
And everyone knows, but no one wants to say anything.
Everyone knows or doesn't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. If they know, yes, you feel like everyone's looking at me. Everyone's thinking that like, oh my gosh, I'm the one that didn't have kids. And if they didn't know, you kind of also feel the same way. You know what I mean? Like, oh, everyone's looking at me. I feel so odd man out. Are they going to ask me? Are they going to ask me if I'm struggling? Are they going to ask me when I'm going to have kids? You know, stuff like that. So, but I think I just felt angry and anxious. I think unseen made me feel not necessarily sad. Sad came later. Initially, it was anger.
For not being seen.
I feel like mine was like how unfair my life is. Genuinely. Of like, this is so unfair. Like everyone else gets this thing and I don't get it.
And you don't feel like people saw that reality.
I have to work harder in my relationships, going to social events, in my life, spend more money than you do. So I was angry that I didn't feel like I fit into the classic mold. And then it made me feel anxious. Anxious of like, what are people going to say? I'm at this baby shower. I'm like scooping pasta salad on my bowl. And then aunt whatever comes up to me and says, when are you going to have kids? Like, it's just like, so I just walked around feeling anxious and angry that it was happening to me.
Yeah.
Angry that I was isolated and that infertility made me isolated.
I think when you carry a hidden weight for a long period of time, the reality for you is so painful that if someone doesn't immediately validate your experience of this weight that you've been carrying, it almost feels like, screw you. Like, how could you not say something? The weird thing about infertility is sometimes they don't even know.
They don't even know.
But the feeling, I think, is there.
Yeah.
Or maybe they do know. Maybe you like, well, I said something and they do know, but they don't want to talk about it.
Because they think you don't want to talk about it.
And then I'm carrying this like massive weight of all this like pain and sadness and month after month of trying, and you're not going to say anything. We're just going to sit here. How do you not see what I've been through? Or maybe even like worse, they act like you're fine or oh, weren't you guys trying? And you're like, what? How could you not? I think that leads to anger. Totally.
I think it's toxic positivity. It's like more toxic hope. It's going to happen. You know what I mean? It only takes one. Their story of how they had kids or whatever, or their neighbor that they don't really know's cousin that they don't speak to anymore. That's what they did. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So I feel like, it's really, really, really hard because you can even talk about it and start to speak about it and start to let people in, and then you feel unseen again. So you're living in the unseen. I feel unseen. Nobody knows what we're going through. Then you could start to talk about it. then you get toxic positivity or advice that you don't want,
Yeah.
or it's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. And then you feel unseen again. It's almost like a
Right.
double-edged sword.
Right.
Is that what that is?
I don't know.
You're a swordsman. Aren't you a swordsman? What about for you, Doug? What did unseen make you feel?
Totally different. Totally different.
As one does in a relationship.
I would say, well, I think it made me angry for sure, but I think it made me feel actually more just invisible, which made me feel anxious and sad, actually, you know?
More sad than angry.
Feeling like if this was anything else, we would talk about it. But it's making you uncomfortable. And now you don't really want to talk about it. So I will put you at ease to make you feel more comfortable. And then that led to like an anxiety of going out and talking about pregnancy and getting birth, you know, getting pregnant, all that kind of stuff. I just felt like for me, I felt like I know that you know about this. You don't want to talk about it. So I'll make a joke about it so that you don't make a joke about it and hurt my feelings before. You mean like
right.
that's sort of like mental gymnastics of trying to like figure out. I don't feel seen by you. Like I don't feel seen. It usually was by like, not necessarily a person. It was by a group of people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Maybe like this group that we're going to, this event that we're going to be at, everyone knows what I'm going through, but they don't want to say anything. And that makes me frustrated. So I'll say something. I'm worried that they are going to say something. And all of that mental gymnastics just made me feel anxious.
Right.
And then sad that like, if it were any other ailment, it would
like
be able to be talked about.
More. Yeah.
Which I feel like there's a very specific pain with infertility is that, well, can I tell you why I think this happens?
Yes.
I think it happens because infertility is very sad. I think there's thresholds that we feel comfortable talking about. There's good positive things. Those easily pass the bar for like wanting to talk about. You won the lottery. Not that, of course, people will talk about that.
I was going to say, like 1 in a million billion people have said that, but okay.
More like, I saw on LinkedIn that you got that job. That's awesome. Like, tell me about it. How are you feeling?
Yeah.
Or like you gave birth and I saw you post the pictures about it.
You bought a new house.
You bought a new house or, oh my gosh.
You got a new car, a dog.
You guys went to Coachella. Like, how was it? Tell me the story or something like, I don't know.
Who are you hanging out with?
No one I know went to Coachella. I just want everyone on the internet to know that. If you did, tell me how was it?
Yeah, love to hear about it.
Did you stay up so late?
I heard that
you stay up so late.
And did you stay hydrated and did you wear sunscreen?
And what were the bathroom situations like?
Yes. And how long when it was over did it take you to get to your car?
I've heard that's killer. Yeah.
Yes. And then from your car, how long did it take you to get out of the parking lot? And then once you're out of the parking lot, how long did it take you to get to your hotel?
We are 1,000 years old.
I know.
We are 500 years old.
I know.
Anyways, there are things that I think people feel comfortable talking about. I saw this thing that you did this thing. And then I think people hear about things that are so sad that they don't want to talk about them. Maybe one caveat is drama. You know, people love to talk about drama and it could be sad, but if it's drama, like I heard what's his name got fired. Tell me about it. You know what I mean? Right. And that's sad. It's sad that someone got fired.
I'd love to hear about what's his name got fired. Please.
Or I heard that thing happened at church. You know what I mean? And oh my gosh, what happened? And those are difficult, hard things.
I'll be praying for her.
But they like fall into
tell me the entire story.
They fall into the drama category, you know?
Yeah.
I think infertility is just tragic. Infertility is so sad that there's no drama to it. There's no good to it. It's just, oh, that's horrible. Oh, I hate to hear that. And we as people, that makes us feel uncomfortable. That sadness, that the fact that could happen to someone, that someone could go through infertility, it's just bums us out. I think it bums everyone out. Obviously, it bums the people out who are going through it the most.
Right.
But even one, two steps removed, if your sister's going through it, if your coworker's going through it, you're like, oh, it makes me so sad. I hate talking about it. I'm sure you hate talking about it. Why would I want to bring up the saddest thing ever and like ask how you're doing? I'm sure you're sad, so I'll avoid it. But I think that avoiding it is where all of the unseen lives, It just makes people uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable with it. So they talk about anything else but that,
Yeah.
Maybe they'll acknowledge it. How's it been going? And you're like, it's really tough. And they're like, okay. And that's maybe when they say something that's totally like a platitude, like, good things come to those who wait.
Yeah.
But they're just uncomfortable and they're just trying to make it go away because they don't want to sit with those bad feelings either. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think I felt that dynamic within people and that made me sad and uncomfortable and anxious. Like, I know that you know what's going on in my life, and I know that you know that I know that you know
that you're uncomfortable.
That you're uncomfortable. And then there's just this like air in the room of like, I don't want to talk about that thing that you're probably thinking about. And all of it is subconscious. And all of it just makes it so that you don't feel seen. It's like wearing bright neon clothing and no one says anything. Like, that was weird.
I do that all the time.
But do you know what I mean? It's like wearing giant cheddar cheese Crocs and no one says anything. You would come
now
home
their nicknames are going to be cheddar cheese Crocs.
You would come home and think to yourself, that was weird. No one said anything about something that's so clearly obvious,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that over time makes you really feel invisible. You start to feel like, am I disappearing? I'm invisible. No one wants to talk about this.
Right.
It makes me sad and anxious.
All that to say, it makes me sad and anxious. That's interesting that yours came out sad and mine came out angry. I think my sadness came way later. And I wasn't as necessarily, I think your way of actually dealing with it, of being mad at people, is actually more common. Mine was still annoying, but I'm like the classic, like giving people the benefit of the doubt of like, they don't know and they don't know what to say and they can just hurt me and I won't say anything. Mine is more unfair that I have to even deal with this at all. I was just pissed that it's like, I hate that I'm at this birthday party and I'm the one who can't have kids. I hate that infertility brought me here. I was so much more as the injustice of it happening to me than like an aunt coming up to me and be like, when are you gonna have kids? I could almost somehow justify that as ignorance. And plus I was a hairdresser at the time. So, 7 to 8 times a day, I got people saying like the most stupidest stuff. So I think I grew a little bit of a thicker skin towards that. Mine was, I hate that I have to be in this situation. This is such an injustice. This is so unfair that I have to go to this birthday party and I don't have kids and all these people do. I hate that I feel unseen. I hate that.
Yes. So I think we're unseen for multiple reasons. I think for me, it was like, I know these people know and they're not wanting to talk about it. That made me feel invisible.
Yeah.
I also think what you're saying is...
Can I just say something?
What?
Thinking about you back in that time.
Yeah.
I feel like thinking about you being unseen, I felt like, and this could be completely off what you just said, but I feel like you almost overtly, obsessively talked about it.
Probably, yeah.
Like almost like that's the anxiousness. So
Yeah.
like, I think you probably did feel that person was uncomfortable, but you're like, I'm just gonna fill in all the gaps so you don't have to, and you don't have to ask me, and I'm doing okay, and it's fine. And like I almost felt like you were like almost like overly communicated because you're like, I will be seen. I will be seen. You have to see me. You have to see me. But don't ask me. I'll fill you in first. I probably did the same thing.
Yeah, what's weird though is I wasn't worried. It was more about me. It was more like, I don't want to be in an uncomfortable situation, so I'll cut it off.
Yes.
And talk about it because I want to get rid of the awkwardness of feeling unseen and feeling invisible. But I think there are times where we know that people know and we try to, that stresses us out. I also think that there are people, and many times going through infertility, no one knows.
No one knows.
And you have that hidden weight and you're just like bearing this massive burden of struggling to get pregnant, and maybe 1 or 2 people know. And then this introduces another, which thing that I was going to talk about was people inadvertently say the most unsensitive things.
Unsensitive? Yes, unsensitive.
Insensitive things.
Insensitive.
Insensitive.
It's like
Not
unsensitive. Wouldn't that be not sensitive?
Insensitive things about pregnancy all the time, you know? Like maybe you're hanging out with someone and you're struggling, and then it's like that one couple that somehow has like 5 kids all under 5 or something like that. And they're like, oh yeah, you can have some of mine. You know, like, oh gosh, we're giving away kids. We have too many. And you're like, how do you not think? How do you not even see that one, if they do know?
That made my heart stab.
2, if they don't know, like how would you just say something so insensitive like that, you know?
Right.
I think there's
and I'm like, this is completely sidebar or whatever, but like also think about it when you say that in front of a kid.
It's kind of a horrible thing to say.
It's kind of a horrible thing to say just in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But all of that, I think, adds to feeling completely unseen. And then I don't think you can even do a podcast like this without saying that in our history, the medical community has at times totally missed so much of the fertility stuff. You know,
right.
People have just missed endometriosis diagnosis.
Yes.
Yes. All sorts of things like that. You know, you go in and you're like, well, I've been trying. And they're like, well, you go try for another year.
Right.
And, you know, people will get halfway down the fertility story and no one will ever do a sperm test. Like,
right.
I think there's a lot of times where we feel not only missed by the people in our lives, but the systems in our lives.
Yes. The systems within fertility, maybe.
Yeah.
Not always, but
like
yes,
I always remember when, I've probably told this story before, but when like my primary care doctor was like, hey, just so you know, the fertility diagnosis, you know, comes with raised depression rates, and, you know, it can be as hard as your spouse dying. So make sure to get that checked out. Like, that's a massive bomb to drop on me. And then just say, like, yeah, don't forget that, you know, you're going to be horribly depressed. Like, what? Is that what you're saying?
Out.
Is that what you're saying? Like, should you maybe focus a little more on that and not just like, you know, that I should redo my sperm test?
Right.
So I think all of it just leads us to feeling invisible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unseen by our communities,
a lot
our
of people in our, which this is just to touch on the medical thing, of like a lot of people in our groups like become advocates for themselves, of just like having to be advocates. And I think that comes from being unseen. You're not seeing me. You're not seeing me. I am not just a number. I am not just this, like, see me, see me, see me. And I say the same thing because we always reflect back after someone shares. And I always say the same thing of like, I'm so proud of you for being an advocate, but I'm also so sorry that you've had to be one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but I think that advocacy in a medical system is from just not being seen and feeling like you are a number, or feeling like, can we have more research for this crap?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Story for another time.
Being unseen.
Cheddar cheese crux.
Is there anything else? Is there anything else we're missing when it comes to being feeling unseen? You feel invisible. Like people don't really get it. Like they get it, but they don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, like they know that you were waiting to figure out if IVF, you know, how many embryos you got.
Right.
And then you tell them you got none. And they go, oh, shoot. So what's next?
Right.
And you're like, you don't get it.
A mourning period. That's what's next.
A grief tour. A small grief tour of the United States is what's next.
France and grieving. So
I think there's that. Like they don't truly see how hard it is.
Yeah. It makes me think of this one story that I heard in one of our process groups. And it was someone who had a really traumatic car crash. They were in a really traumatic car crash when they were like in their teens. And just how family of friends, like just rallied. She ended up being okay. But it's like just rallied. She remembered that feeling even as a teenager of like, wow, people step up. When hard shit happens, people step up to the plate.
Yeah.
Years later, gets married, has a miscarriage. Crickets.
Yeah, no one.
And she could not get over that. She just could not get over where it's like, wait. I thought when hard stuff happens, people step up.
Right.
And that day, I feel like she realized of like conditionally.
Yeah.
Depending on the conditions, people step up. Depending on the conditions, people know what to say and know what to do. And almost it feels like pain is conditional. Like, oh, that's so like worthy of traumatic car accident, worthy of getting care. And then this is like, is it that sad?
Yeah, it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like that.
Oh my gosh.
I think it is so sad that people go, I don't know what to say, or I won't say anything, you know? Like, ooh, that's so touchy, I won't say anything. Like, like those thresholds. Like, there are some things that people can deal with that are sad. A car crash.
Right.
You know, an accident or something. There's the good things, there's the drama things. People know how to chime in and step in. And then something is so sad of like, I lost the baby. Everyone goes, oh, frick. And they just kind of fall silent.
Right.
That's not the time to fall silent.
Right.
That's the time to know what to say.
Right.
But it feels like no one knows what to say, or they're uncomfortable with themselves. They don't know what to, they don't want to do it.
It's just sad. I think that people can step up to the plate when they can cognitively I don't know if it's that they can relate somehow or something, or infertility is like not something you can like put your hands on. It feels more people like ambiguous or something. Like, oh, you had a miscarriage, but we didn't see you pregnant. We didn't see it, whatever. That it's like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. And I think people just want infertility to go away. I think that is a universal truth of the world.
Yeah.
Is the people that are experiencing it really want it to go away. But also I think the world as a whole, because I don't think we know how to, clearly, we don't know how to care for someone. It feels like one of those conditions, like the world steps up, people step up for these things, but not this over here. We don't know how. We don't know how, or we don't want to, or it's hard because you don't know if it's going to work out. And what's also hard, dude, this is a new thought. A lot of people, when they struggle with infertility, end up getting pregnant, which is great and amazing. We were not one of them, which is great and amazing. But I think people love that. They're like, see,
well, that's the thing.
It does work out.
That's the thing they want to share.
That's the thing they want to share.
It's painful and uncomfortable. And as people, we avoid painful, uncomfortable things. You know, there's a threshold that we have of, you know, oh, I didn't make varsity. Oh, that's painful and uncomfortable, but you'll make it through.
Right.
But something like a miscarriage, something like years of infertility is so painful, so uncomfortable. The best thing we have to offer is like, well,
it'll happen someday.
Aunt Mary got pregnant and she struggled for a little bit too. And you're like, what? Okay, that doesn't help me at all. But they're like, how do I get out of this situation?
Yes.
How do you get out of this situation so that we can talk about anything else besides this situation?
Yes.
This is making me uncomfortable. It's too sad. How do we find the exits immediately? You know,
yes.
That's what I think people are doing.
Yes.
That's why so many people going through it feel completely invisible.
Yes. And when someone does end up getting pregnant, the people that are left that don't end up getting pregnant, that makes them feel very unseen.
The most unseen. Yeah.
The most unseen. Oh, I didn't fit into your silver lining. Oh, I mean, I've even seen people have like massive body relief when someone struggles with the infertility journey that gets pregnant, which is great.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That's what everyone in this world is trying to do.
Yeah.
They're trying to get pregnant. Like, you know, so it's like such relief, but it's almost like, what if you are not the story that gives people relief?
Yeah.
That just makes you feel so unseen and less than. Do
you want to go one level deeper before we move on?
Sure. I really want to share this quote that someone said in one of my process groups, but it has really nothing to do with what we're saying, but I just like it.
Why don't you just share it? Just what is it?
We were talking about faith, and we were talking about how in faith journeys, you feel like if you're in a faith community or faith community, and you don't get pregnant, that you feel like you're like less holy.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love what this one person said. They said, do you think Mother Teresa was less holy because she didn't have kids?
Right. The old Mother Teresa.
I just felt like someone needed to know that. Or that Mother Teresa was less than because she didn't have kids, or her life didn't have meaning because she didn't have kids.
Yes.
I'm not saying we have to be like Mother Teresa and go and like change the world and be whatever this saint. I'm just saying, like, did her not having kids affect any of her worth and value on this world. No. Like she was not less than a person, less than a woman. That is 1,000% a tangent.
I love that you threw. I like that you went there because
when I said less than, it reminded me of that.
This is hanging out with Jesse.
That's
you
what
said
it is.
something.
Just call me cheddar cheese cracks. Just call me cheddar cheese cracks. No, what was the brilliant thing that you were going to say? Oh no, do you even remember what we were saying?
Yeah, no, I was going to say one level deeper before we go on because we have a point that we're leading up to.
Yeah, right.
I think the level deeper is when something good does happen. That's actually the thing that people want to, that's where they tap in. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's where they're like, okay, boom, we're going to throw the best baby shower because you struggled to get pregnant. But moving forward, no one wants to sit and honor the grief that you've gone through.
Which makes infertility people very upset and sad.
Right. They want to celebrate the good thing that's happened. And it just, I think it maps perfectly onto that same thought that people like to celebrate and talk about good things. Mm-hmm. And they're sort of waiting for your good thing to happen. Then they'll show back up.
Do you think it's like this person became this silver lining? Now I don't have to hold this tension anymore.
Yeah, the tension's gone.
The tension's gone.
I can sit in the celebration. And
which is so sad.
And we can talk about the celebration over and over and over again. But the person who went through the grief is miserable.
Yes.
They're still maybe stressed, anxious, and very much so feeling like, where were you when times were bad? You know, where were you when this was difficult?
Yeah. Or it feels invalidating. It feels like, oh, thanks for, you can accept me now. You can accept me now that I have done your silver lining or gave you hope, or you don't have to hold that tension anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, we suck at this as a culture. Why do we suck so bad at this? Man, I wish we were better.
I think like the psychologist we know would say we're pain averse as a people.
Dr. Annie Ganal said it the best on one of our podcasts. She said, as human beings, we are pain avoidant.
Yeah. We don't like pain. And drama's not that painful. Someone else getting into a car
Drama's
crash.
Not painful. If I'm not involved in the drama, it's not painful at all. It's a joy.
Someone getting into a car crash, busting their knee up. It's a bummer, but it's not.
And you'll heal. Typically, not always, but typically.
Fertility, disease, death.
Yes.
Even in all of those, and there's things I know I'm missing, but there are things that become so overwhelming that they are really hard to talk about.
Yep.
And people, I don't even know if avoid is the right word. They're just uncomfortable with them. So somehow it never comes up. Somehow it just gets avoided. Yep. And that makes people feel unseen.
Yep.
All of this leads to what we were talking about when we wanted to do this podcast. We had this concept in our head that we were like, this is what we want to talk about. This is the problem. And it's this, that within this topic, there is a big, giant conundrum. We're calling it the conundrum.
Welcome to the conundrum. That's our jingle. Welcome to the conundrum.
I don't know if I have a good definition of a conundrum.
Do people not know what conundrum means?
I think do I know what a conundrum means?
Conundrum means
like a confusing thing. It doesn't make sense. What's the definition of conundrum?
What's the definition of conundrum? A confusing, highly difficult problem that lacks an obvious or easy solution.
We chose the right word. It is the conundrum.
Highly difficult problem that lacks an obvious or easy solution.
We have a conundrum.
People, we have a conundrum.
I think the conundrum is that we want the world to understand infertility. We want to be cared for when we want to be cared for. We want to be able to bring people into this struggle that we're going through and have them know a little bit of how to care for people. Know, oh my gosh, yes, fertility struggles. Okay, I understand that. I've learned about that. I know about that. How can I be there for you? We want them to say the right thing, not the cliche things. We want them to be comfortable with the uncomfortable when we want to talk about it. We don't want it forced upon us, but we want them to know and be good about bringing it up and be tender and gentle. Yet, no one wants to talk about it to teach people how to do that. It's this weird conundrum of, I don't want to talk about it, but I want people to know about it. And I'm not
Right.
saying, the conundrum's not anyone's fault. I think it's totally normal. And we're in the same boat too.
What did it say? An impossible situation with no
like,
easy solution.
There's no easy solution. It's sort of like one of those things of like, we need to get better at this. But then the people who are struggling, it's like you kind of look at them and go, well, you're the ones who should start talking about it. And it's like, but they're thinking, yeah, but I'm the one struggling. Why do I have to be the one talking about it? I'm the one going through it.
Right.
I should be cared for.
And I'm exhausted.
Right. But then we go, okay, well then someone should. And then it's just not, it's just, we don't know the way forward as a society. I really truly think that. I think we're struggling with the way forward. What is so classic, and I can see it happening on the news and all over the place, is we're talking about the medical procedures, which is great.
Yes.
Which is a huge win.
Education in that area.
It's a huge win. Maybe that's the tip of the spear going forward.
Please do not say to me, and one more time, anyone on this earth, when I explain what an IUI is, say turkey baster. I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it anymore. It's gone. Delete. So that's amazing. That is important. That is important.
I think the medical procedures becoming more popular and people more aware of them.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the tip of the spear. But I think the general person who's trying every month, yes, they want you to know what IVF is or fertility stuff. Probably though, they want you to see how painful it is, how hard it is. And hopefully maybe talking more about the medical procedures, we get to the emotional side of it. But we're in a conundrum.
Yeah.
I don't think we have a clear path forward.
Right.
And it feels wrong just to look at every single person struggling and being like, you have to be the ones to educate your uncles.
Right.
You know,
right.
like we're not going to do like an educate your uncles fair.
I struggled with the sentence. I couldn't even say the sentence because I didn't want anyone to feel like they have to or they should or it's their job or whatever, because I understand what a heavy load this is. But let me just take me as an example. I'm going to completely throw myself under the bus. This is not going to be fun for me, but I'm going to do it.
Okay. Tell us what's happening.
Okay. I have to get in position. Before I met Infertility and shook its hand, then flipped it off, then died inside, I was not great when it comes to thinking about infertility.
Stuff?
No, not just infertility.
Okay.
I was the person that made the April Fool's Day joke that I was pregnant. I was at work. Me and you were like 3 years married. I totally did it. Immediately regretted it when my mom's best friend said, oh my gosh, you're going to make the best parents in the world and you guys are the sweetest and I can't wait to celebrate you. I was like, oh no. I did that. I asked people all the time when they were going to get pregnant and when they were going to have kids. The thing that annoys me the most, I don't know why this always happens at weddings. I was the person that said I wanted Jimmy, Jane, and John, and I wanted them all this many years apart, and I wanted a boy and a girl and then twins, and then like maybe one day we'll adopt kind of thing. I was that person. And I'm throwing myself underneath the bus. Even the other day, I don't know what was wrong with me. I was getting my nails done and she was talking to me, clearly not recently, but like she was talking to me and she was asking about, because we have 2 adopted children and we were talking about it. And then just out of my mouth was just like, you have any kids? Like look what I do for a living. And I messed up. I completely messed. And I remember going, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I did not mean, and she was like, no, it's fine. I don't have any kids. And then she didn't have kids. And then I was like, oh my God, I feel worse. She may be struggling with infertility. And now when you tell me like, so that just recently happened like a couple of years ago, but we were in Uniquely Knitted at that point. I was that person. I did do those things. I think I probably told people it'll happen. Like, I remember this girl that I worked with this salon. She has this famous story of how she got drunk in Vegas and had her 2 kids. Like, I'm sure I repeated that story to people. So I'm completely throwing myself under the bus. So I think all that to say is once you're in it, it's just so different. But all of those people, if they haven't experienced this, could be my dumbass. Who before I met Infertility was completely ignorant, completely had no idea how painful that was. I just thought you went to high school, you went to college, you got married, you bought the house, you bought the SUV, and you had kids. Like, I just thought that that's what it was. And then you had kids and you retired, like, or whatever. So I was just a product of my own environment, especially in the faith community environment. Of course, that's like, you talk about that a lot. So I just feel like those people might still be me. And that is not to put pressure on anyone at all. But I think it is true. And when you're struggling with infertility, you're like, people don't get what this feels like. And I'm like, they don't. You're right. They don't. They might be still stuck though in that ignorant world that they don't know. But if the infertility community or people in our lives, I hate to say we don't tell or we don't share or we don't whatever, because that sounds so like, you should. I'm not trying to do that. It's just that I don't know who would. Does that make sense?
That makes so much sense.
I think that's the conundrum. And the conundrum is, I love how it said, there's no easy solution. Yeah. That's not easy to do. Yeah. And I'm not even saying you should or you shouldn't. I'm just saying I didn't know until I was in it.
Yeah.
And I think the people that can help this infertility community be seen is the people in the community.
Right. I think what you're saying is that even you back then, you're like, I needed to know who was going to tell me. I needed to understand and see the world from this perspective. And I think that is the conundrum. The people who are struggling and suffering are the, am I going to be the one to teach Jesse how to do this?
To shut up. Right.
They're probably thinking, but please shut up. But I don't want to be the one to tell you. So I think that's what I'm saying. I think we're stuck,
right?
Kind of not knowing what to do. And there's so many good advocates and awareness groups, and we raise awareness and things like that. Will all of a sudden the world just start paying attention to all the advocacy?
Right.
They seem to be paying attention a little bit to the medical treatment stuff and like advocating for that. So maybe that's, like I said,
that's the avenue,
the tip of the spear or the way forward. But the chances are, like, in the next couple months, your family members, your friend group might not all of a sudden catch on to all of this awareness.
Right.
So what do you do?
Right.
I think that there's a few ways out of the conundrum.
Yeah.
But none of them are perfect. Like there's, like I said, like we're, the definition is there's just no easy solution. There's a couple ways out of it, but all of them have their own troubles.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll list them.
Does that make sense? I think what's so hard is like,
what are you saying? Like the story you shared?
Yeah, the story I shared. Like I feel like it's so hard because the person that would advocate for themselves to be unseen is the infertile person, but the infertile person is exhausted, overwhelmed, anxious, tired, lonely, has no idea where to start, has maybe been in this for a really long time. And it's like the time that it would take me to update you on what I'm feeling. So all the compassion in the world, all the compassion is, I think that's a part of it too, is the person that is advocating to be unseen maybe, or wanting to be unseen, has all those other things with it too.
Yeah.
And fears of being misunderstood, all that. So what do we do about it?
I think the first way out of the conundrum, or the first way to solve the conundrum. I
have a thought.
Yes.
What if you said the thing and then we said the benefit, but the cost?
Yeah.
Like the benefit of the cost, or maybe the cost is not the right word. Like the benefit or the thing.
I think the cost is the right word.
That's hard about it.
I like the cost.
the worth, and then the thing that's not so great about it. That's great.
The first one and the first way out of the conundrum, this like problem that we're in, is the people who are going through infertility become their own advocates and advocate for their needs.
Yeah, for their needs.
Yeah, they advocate for their own experience, and they advocate to get their needs met from the people in their lives. The benefit is that you have a really high likelihood that more of your needs will get met.
That's a good way to put it.
The parents, the
chances go up.
The sisters, the brothers, the friend group might be able to see you more, understand what you're going through, and give you more of what you emotionally need. That would be epic and awesome.
And I really like the way of thinking of it. It goes up. The chances go up It is not 100% guaranteed. You're working with people on the other end that might not be wanting to grow emotionally or be better people. You know what I mean? But it's like the chances go up if you do that, of getting your need met, whatever it is that you need.
The cost of that, though, is you have to do a ton of extra, not a ton. You have to do a lot of extra work.
Yeah.
And it's vulnerable and it's scary and it's a whole new set of skills that you have to learn in the midst of
already feeling
struggling to get pregnant.
Yeah.
That is so hard.
Yes. Yes.
That's a heavy burden.
Yes.
Like to like every month be like, it didn't work. Or to go through treatment and be like, it didn't work. And then also, are we going to the game on Friday? Because we should probably tell them that it didn't work and we're in a bad spot.
Right.
Who's going to call them? How do you do that? That's just so much extra for someone to go through. It's hard enough to go through infertility.
Period.
Now you have to do that. That's a heavy toll that I feel like is forced upon this community if they want to go that route and solve the conundrum in that way.
I think cost reward. The reward could be that the chances of advocating for your needs with your people, telling them what you need, telling them how you're feeling, telling them what's going on, is that the chances of your need getting met go up.
Yes.
The cost of that is that's really hard to do, can be emotionally exhausting when you're already in that place. And it's really hard I've said this in my groups multiple times, that it's really hard to advocate for your needs and get your needs met when you are in a sad, hard space. It just really, really, really is. It's really hard to grow when you're in a season of pain.
Yes.
It really feels like a lot better and easier and probably like the grass is greener. It's like, I will just wait till this is over to start growing.
Number 2, the second way out of
feeling unseen.
Yes. The conundrum of who's going to tell all these people how to do this.
Right.
We don't want to tell them. The first, like we just said, is that we tell them.
Right.
And there's a cost and there's a benefit to that.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is that we find people to go do this who are already doing this. And what I mean by that is you join a support group, you join one of our process groups, you find other people in your city or
online,
at your
Instagram.
Online who are also going through infertility, know what it's like, and then they become your people during this season. The benefit of that is that there's not a lot of education that you have to do. They already know.
They've already
gone through.
Damn, that feels good.
Oof, yeah.
When someone goes, I know exactly how that feels. Even something just medically, procedurally, but also of like, I know what that feels like to have a loss. I know what that feels like to have months and months and months of waiting. I know what that feels like. Like there is like,
and you're like, do you feel overwhelmed? And they're like, so overwhelmed. And you just both cry.
Just bawling.
Both cry.
Bawling.
Or for like, I've even like, in like for sometimes with men and stuff like that, it's like, oh yeah, we went through that. And you're like, oh, it's the worst. And there's just like quivery sort of like, no, it's the worst.
Yes,
and no one gets it like someone who gets it.
Yes. Feels so
the
good.
The benefit is like immediate and it's works and it feels good. Not every community, but like the most of the time when you find people who've gone through it, there's just it's an easier connection.
Yes.
Oh, you get it.
Yes.
Huge benefit.
Yes.
The cost is those people don't live with you.
Right. They are sometimes not in your real life.
They're generally not in your friend group.
Right.
So maybe you have this amazing moment. Maybe you're in one of our groups. And you
or you do multiple of our groups.
Yeah. And you love it. And you're with us on a Tuesday night. But then Friday, you guys are all going to the baseball game.
Yep.
And then there's like that one friend you have who says the insensitive thing. And you're like, why isn't this not like my process group that I'm in? And that's the cost, is that when we don't tell the people in our lives and we go find them, we are still in our lives. And the people that we told aren't necessarily in our lives.
Right.
So again, it's this conundrum. Like there's really good things to that, but there's also really hard things.
Right. And being in groups, there is something. I mean, I almost... And I know this doesn't happen to every person that's ever taken our groups ever, but there is something that I feel when I start a group for the first week and I see all their faces and I'm like, you guys are going to connect so well. Like this is going to be almost easy, because I feel like even you just said that nugget and I know someone else is feeling it. Like there is something electric that happens in a group like that when you feel seen and someone knows exactly how you're feeling and what you've been through. But one of the main things we talk about in our groups at the end typically is, I wish I had this in my real life.
Right.
I don't feel as lonely. I don't feel as unseen, but I still feel unseen in my real life. My two best friends are still pregnant.
Yeah.
My mom still drives me nuts. Like whatever it is, like it is. It's like that. It feels so good, and it does. And it's a great place to start, by the way. It's a great place to start. It's a great place to start, to just get into a group and be like, oh my gosh, you get it. It's a great place to start. But yes, in your real life, I say real life, in your real life, that still exists. There are still kid birthday parties that you could go to or not go to. Your two best friends are still pregnant. You still get invited to baby showers. It's still painful to be with your friends that all have kids. Like that, all reality still exists. But it does feel so good.
As you've been talking, I can't help but thinking, I love the word electric.
Electric. Is there a band name Electric?
I just think it's a great way to describe something. It was electric.
Did I say that about the groups? I don't even know if did I say that?
Yes. The vibe in this room, it was just electric. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel it. And I say that at the end.
I want to live an electric life. When people hang out with me, I want them to be like, wow, that was electric.
Yeah. And I will say this, to talk about our process groups and to talk about this number 2 option, is I do think
they're electric?
That they're electric. That they are electric. They are an electric guitar. No. That I do think that it is borderline impossible to understand what this world feels like if you haven't experienced it. But I don't feel like it's impossible. So join the group, get support for people that get it. But I don't feel like it's impossible for someone who doesn't know what this feels like to care for you.
Right.
That's what I would say.
That's option 1, is you can teach people how to care for you.
Yes, you can teach people how to care for you. It will go up. I'm not saying they're all going to do it perfectly. I'm not saying that they're going to do it necessarily great every time. But if they are someone that you want to stay close to, I don't think it's impossible. So I do think that it's hard to understand what it feels like. Almost borderline impossible. But it's not impossible for someone to care for you while you are going through grief that hasn't experienced infertility. Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
One asterisk. One asterisk to number 1 and number 2 before we go into number 3, because I think number 3 is a little bit different, is number 1 and number 2, I think that there's a way that you can do both of the costs. I think that it does feel good to have people be seen and that know what this world feels like. And that is important and a way to feel unseen. But sometimes it can leave it feeling unsatisfied totally because you're still in your life with your two best friends being pregnant and all that kind of stuff. And then there is a way to do both where you do educate your family, but they also, and you do advocate for your needs. Maybe not educate your family. You do advocate for your needs and you're trying to get your needs met, but they don't understand. They don't get it. So that could be grief there. There could be grief that you're like, oh, I've even really tried to explain to my mom and advocate for my needs, but she still doesn't understand what it feels like. It's like, yes. So I think there's a way to do both. To go to a group of people that it's like, you get it, but you are not my best friend and you don't live with me and you don't, whatever, like you get it. And that feels so good. And tell that group of everything that you're feeling and how it feels and just process or whatever and get your need met in that way. And then there's also a thing where you can go to your family and say, you might not be the people that get this, but I still need care from you.
Right.
So I think that is like probably like the ideal.
I think
really hard to do.
I think we use all 3 options throughout our life, whether we want to or not. Like I think
you're going to say number 3. Yeah.
There's times that we use all 3.
Yeah,
I do.
But I think I would think that like my mom might be the same person that I would go to and bitch about how hard infertility is and want her to get it. And I don't know if she could.
Yeah.
Because she's never gone through it. But I can advocate that I want you to see me and I want you to hear me talk, but she might not get it.
Yeah.
What it actually feels like.
Yeah.
So I think that you can use both for both things of like advocate for your needs. Yes. But also grieve the fact that this person that you're talking to, this best friend that's pregnant that has 5 kids, might not understand what it feels like, but they can hopefully still care for you because they do care for you.
But it's still a conundrum because double the benefit, double the cost.
Are you saying you're just exhausted at the end?
I'm just saying it's a lot of work. This has always been my thought.
It's a lot of work.
This has always been my thought about infertility, is that it introduces this like giant project to you in the midst of grief. Like you're like really just wanted to grow your family. You didn't want to do any of this.
Yeah, for freak's sake.
And then here we are on this podcast saying, okay, so here's the way out of this sort of conundrum is you have to go talk to your friends and family. You have to go join a group. And you're like, well, I don't want to do any of this. I just want to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Option number 3, although I hear you. I
do think that
I think 1 and 2 sometimes work good in combo. Like
in tandem.
Going and finding people and also talking to your people, they work well in tandem.
And I think you can both use them for a different need. There is nothing like talking to someone who has a miscarriage that knows what that feels like. But I think I go to people sometimes that haven't had that similar pain, expecting them to get it. But what I think I want to do, and I've learned to do more, is like, I know you don't get this, but I still have a need to be seen. And I still want you to see me. And that sometimes is a grief in itself. It's like, wow, I've never experienced this.
Option number 3 is more of, I would say, like a protective stance that says, I'm going to just bear the weight of this. And we're not going to tell really anyone. We're going to tell very, very few people. And I'm not going to join a group. I'm going to maybe listen to a podcast, watch some YouTube videos, but we're really just going to shoulder it.
Yeah.
And hope that we get through it as quick as possible and then just back to normal.
Right.
I think the benefit of that is you don't have to bring a bunch of people into your pain and do all of that work.
Risk getting toxic positivity, all these things.
Yeah, you can just stay with the people that you're in and kind of just smile and grin and cry on the way home and just sort of shoulder it. You don't have to go join a group. You don't have to find new people. You just sort of bear it. The cost of that is it's emotionally really taxing and really overwhelming. And it's possible that those pains that you picked up during infertility won't just go away, that they'll just sort of stay with you, and the grief and the anxiety and the trauma will just sit with you for longer maybe than it needs to. I think that's the pain and the cost of that. However, that sounds like the one that, you shouldn't do that one. And I know maybe what you're thinking. Like, well, just don't do that one because that's the worst one.
I want people to feel seen.
I want people to feel seen.
I want people to feel seen. But no, I'm not saying that don't do that. I'm not judging.
I just think it's the one that people choose a lot.
Yeah.
Is just, I will just shoulder this.
And
it's hard.
With infertility, you think it's around the corner that it's going to end. So you think this next month. Imagine if you were like not imagine, I did it. I lived it. Imagine living and be like, in 30 days, all of this could go away. I could get my period and it will just be done. Or I won't get my period and it will just be done. And whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like you also think, okay, I'll get care then for when it's exciting and I don't have to hold the tension of people, that me being in pain. You know what I mean? You always think it's just about to end. You always think the baby is right around the corner. So that's really, really hard. Who wants to be like, I'm going to jump into that when it could end in 30 days or something? You know? That
one reminds me of like the example I use where I say it's like a demented casino. You know?
I've never heard this example.
I think I said it maybe last time or something. That infertility is like some kind of demented casino where you keep playing, like you keep pulling the lever on what are those things called? The
slot machines?
Slot machines. You keep pulling the lever and maybe I'll hit 3 cherries or whatever it is now and I'll hit the jackpot. And it's like maybe just one more day, one more month, one more cycle. And if it ever gets too bad, I'll tell someone, but you kind of just keep playing.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I'm really in the hole now. Like I'm really not in a great place.
Right.
But I think a lot of people do that. And I don't want to say that's
wrong
because it's where a lot of people are at.
Yeah.
And I think what they're saying, they're not saying I want to do the one that hurts the most. What they're saying is,
it's hard.
What if next month we just get pregnant and it just goes away? Like, what if this cycle just works to perfection and it's done and we can just move on?
Educate my mom, talk about my hard feelings in a process group when it could end in next 30 days. And we could, I mean, I'm sure if this is not someone's first time listening to this podcast, we all are aware that it doesn't end sometimes when you get
but when
what
you're
you
looking
want.
at it and you're like, I could do 4 more months. Like, let's just give it 4 more months.
Yeah.
And you never know what's going to happen. Like that, you'll just, that keeps you going. And I think a lot of people are choosing that way out of this conundrum.
Yeah.
It hurts. Why are people saying these things? I don't feel seen, right? I don't feel seen. Okay, I'll just push through for 4 more months. I'll push through for the rest of this year. And if it doesn't happen, then I'll do something. I just think that's a lot of people are there.
Right.
And like I said, I think we use all 3 options all the time. I think we should use all 3 options all the time.
Like there is some times where we just go,
at times we have to just kind of just like shoulder it. But if it's okay to not be okay. But to just live in that not okayness forever is not okay.
Right.
I think it's okay to be like, this is really hurting me right now. I need to do something. But for this rest of this month, I'm not gonna do anything this month. Let's just make it through. And there's a benefit to that. You just kind of keep moving.
Right.
You hold it,
Right.
But then at times when you're not okay, you have to reach out. And the cost of reaching out is high. You got to do the work to sign up. And those people aren't really in your everyday life, but you get to be seen.
Yes.
And then there's other times where I got to tell my sister about it. I just have to tell her what's going on. And it's going to be awkward and weird that I'm going to say, can you stop sending ultrasound pictures in the group chat?
Right.
It's going to be weird that I'm going to say that, but it's possible that my need might get met.
Right.
And that is so necessary. So I think we have to get out of the conundrum, we have to use all 3.
Right.
At times.
And we're not saying that everybody, I don't know why, I just feel like I always have to say this. We're not saying that everybody that you would advocate for your needs would do it well.
Yeah.
And sometimes maybe you're thinking, I don't really have anybody in my real life. Like I need groups, I need process groups. I need that so bad because I really don't have anybody. Maybe your family wasn't someone that talked about emotional needs. Maybe your friends, you've had friends since you were kindergarten and you all do the same, script. Like I'm the funny one in my group or whatever. It's like, and we don't talk about it's like, maybe you're like, no, I don't really have anyone. And that's really hard. And that's where our groups would be a great place. Process groups and support groups and stuff like that would be a great place to start. You know what I mean? So
to recap, infertility makes you feel unseen. That to get out of that unseenness or that invisibility,
you kind of have 3 options.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck in this conundrum of I kind of want you to see me. I don't know how to get you to see me. Do I have to do something? It's like you're stuck in this sort of weird position. There's 3 ways out of it. You shoulder it and just bear it. You go find the people, or you tell your people how to care for you. It's a big topic.
Yeah. And I would just say
hopefully that did we do that well? I think that's good.
Yeah. And I just want to say one thing before we end is we see you. Like we see you. If the only thing that you get out of this podcast is that maybe, I do number 3 and I'm not going to be in a place. I don't see my being in a place anytime soon of joining a process group or, talking to my mom about how I feel or whatever. And maybe me and Doug, you and I are the only people that are in their lives that's talking about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to say that we see you.
We see you.
We see you. You are not unseen to us. We see you. We hear you. And we see how hard this is. I think why I advocate for people to be seen, especially in the infertility community, is because I've seen such beautiful things happen. So I feel like I want that. But for people, that's why I became a big advocate in this community, because I want people to feel seen. But if this is the only way that you feel like you have the capacity to even be seen is just listening to a podcast, I see you. I totally see you. I hear you. I see you. You are not invisible. Just know though that you are not too much or too anxious or too depressed or too much of a burden to care about. You are not. You deserve support. You're worthy of support. And whatever way that works for you, even if just knowing that helps you, even just hearing it helps you, that's great. But know that you are worthy and deserve your mom to understand you. You are worthy and deserve for you to process and someone goes, gosh, I know how that feels. You are worthy of that. Like, and you are worthy and deserve not to be lonely. It's just really hard. I remember one girl in my process group one time said, wait a minute, are you advocating that we have to like go through this and grow ourselves? And I'm like, yeah, you don't have to.
It's an option.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Yeah.
But like, and it's going to take a lot of work. I was like, yeah. And she was like, but she was being like funny about it or whatever. But like, and so I also see how hard that is. I see how hard it is to advocate for your needs, to join a process group, to join a support group, to join all those things. And we just see you. We see you and where you're at.
We see you. All I know is this podcast feels electric.
Electric. Would you say it feels kind of cheddar cheese crock electric?
Those cheddar cheese crocks feel electric.
With my Minnie and Mickey, what are these called again?
Crock pins.
Crock pins.
Do you have crock pins?
But do you have crock pins? And I found this on the ground at Disneyland. I probably shouldn't even be touching it. I probably shouldn't even be touching it. I found it on the ground at Disneyland.
You found a trash crock pin.
I found a trash crock pin coming out of Grizzly River Rapids. All on the ground. I was like, oh, take that from a crock.
I don't know if people want to be seen by us at this point.
You don't want to be seen by someone who wears cheddar cheese Crocs. Platform cheddar cheese Crocs.
Thank you for listening to the Infertility Feelings podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Cheddar Cheese Crocs. This podcast is brought to you by Uniquely Knitted, a nonprofit for people who are struggling with infertility. If you want to know more about what we're doing, if you want to donate, support this show, become a partner, or just join Uniquely Knitted, go to uniquelyknitted.org. We love you. We see you. Thank you for listening.